What's up, YTPC? This is DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. I got my 7 Illy 320 KS. With, hold up, where'd my tamper go? God damn it. Oh. I put it in my pocket. So I have my 320 KS with some Pirate's Cake in it, a blend that I will be reviewing here shortly. But I need to try it in several different bowls to see how it smokes and see if it changes at all. And so far it smokes pretty good. That's not what today's topic is about. Today, I'm going to discuss the FDA regulations. And I'm not going to do it in the same manner that a lot of people have been doing it. Basically stating what the FDA regulations are and what we can do to stop it, how it's going to impact us as tobacco consumers, premium tobacco consumers. Because there have been a lot of videos out there already addressing the issues. They're pretty much all saying the same things, and I completely agree with all of them. So, it would be redundant for me to do so. Instead, oh, and I was going to do this for the weekend pipe chat. Just a little side note. I was having some technical issues, so the video that I recorded on Saturday did not upload this weekend. So, that's why you're seeing this on a weekday. But, back to the original topic. Today, I'm going to talk about the people who don't think it's that big of a deal and why it kinda is a big deal. See, I've noticed some comments on Instagram and YouTube basically stating something to the effect of, it's not going to affect the industry, you know, they make all kinds of things illegal that kids get their hands on. Doesn't stop them. It's not going to stop us consenting adults from consuming pipe tobacco and cigars, e-cigarettes, that kind of thing. And I see where they're coming from. I mean, look at Prohibition. Prohibition was a period in the 1920s where they tried to basically take alcohol off the market. Not only did that not work, but there was probably just as much alcohol consumption, if not more, during that period than any other time before. And now you look at marijuana nowadays, and it's starting to become legalized despite decades of illegalization of it and decades of, you know, people demonizing it. So I see where they're coming from. And I don't necessarily think the regulations are going to cause the industry to go under. Obviously, the bigger names are going to stick around. Some of the small but big-ish companies that are technically small businesses, but make a pretty good profit still, like Cornell and Deal. I think they'll still be around during these times of heavy regulations, but the industry itself won't go away. However, that's not a reason to not try to fight it. See, I don't want to go through the bullshit that people had to go through in the 20s with prohibition and what people have had to go through who enjoy marijuana through the decades of demonization of marijuana, only to have it finally be, legalized, despite putting people in jail for, what amounts to a mostly harmless plant. I don't want to go through that bullshit. And I'm pretty sure you guys don't either. Sorry, my throat's kind of dry. That's why my voice is a little high-pitched. I don't drink enough water throughout the day. I should probably start doing that. Anyway, if you give our government an inch, they'll take a mile. Okay? That's why our Second Amendment hasn't been eradicated. Because people like me, who are members of organizations and lobbying groups such as the NRA, we become members of these organizations so that they can fight for our rights and lobby for our rights to keep and bear arms. If it wasn't for organizations like that, and if it wasn't for people who support the Second Amendment being so boisterous and, voting, we wouldn't have a Second Amendment. It's the same thing with pipe tobacco. Yeah, the industry will still be around, but we're going to have to go through a lot to stay alive, just to, keep our hobby afloat. And the Dagners, they made a good point as well. If the FDA can get away with, heavily regulating e-cigarettes, vaping, pipe tobacco, cigars, etc., so easily, especially if some people have this attitude, what's stopping them from taking away or heavily regulating other substances? They mentioned caffeine. That would be a great example of something that would come in the future as being, heavily regulated. I don't think they're going to necessarily start with things like coffee and energy drinks. I think they're going to start with pre-workouts, because pre-workouts get a bad rap in the media, mainly because, well, energy drinks do too, to a certain extent, but mainly because people figure, oh, well, shit, the container says 1 or 2 scoops. I'll take 5. And not everybody can handle their caffeine, and as a result, they have complications from it. Some people have even died. So, I could definitely see the FDA taking something like that, blowing it way out of proportion, and using it as an excuse to heavily regulate stimulants, starting with pre-workouts. Pre-workouts, for those of you who don't know, they typically have high concentrations of caffeine. They also have additional stimulants, such as yohimbine and taurine, things of that nature. But some people can't handle them because they're sensitive to caffeine. And even some people who aren't sensitive to caffeine can get complications simply by taking too much of it. That's not my fault or anybody else's fault who uses stimulants like that responsibly. That's somebody else's fault. But I could definitely see, like I said, if the FDA can get away with regulating pipe tobacco and cigars, I could see them jumping on board with banning stimulants. And if they can get away with that, if they can get away with something as common and easy to get, generally safe for the most part, such as heavily caffeinated products, what's stopping them from, regulating over-the-counter medications? What's stopping them from, say, making it so that you have to get a prescription from a doctor and you have to have a medical reason to take ibuprofen, over-the-counter, aspirin? So, yes, in conclusion, you do need to take this seriously. We do need to fight it and tell our senators, our congressmen, and our state representatives that yes, we do care about this. And no, this is not going to stop kids from consuming tobacco products. And no, the FDA is not doing it for the kids. They're using the kids as an excuse to tax us and make a profit off of something that wasn't really regulated, and also, because they're regulating it, they can control us even further than what they're already doing now. I'm going to link down below some links that the Diabetic Man and the Dagners linked in their videos. I'm offering them to you guys so that you can click on them, and it'll take you 10 seconds to do. It's basically an electronic form that you fill out that will send out a letter to your senators, your congressmen, your state representatives, and in that letter it states basically that we don't like what the FDA is doing, it is harmful for business, and it's not going to stop children from consuming tobacco products at all. And as for the rest of you who are on board with, going up against the FDA, I'm with you guys. And I'm trying to do as much as I can right now to fight this. And I'm with you guys. So, I hope you guys check out the links down below. Hopefully, if we do this soon enough and we are aggressive enough, hopefully at the very, very least, they'll back off on some of their regulations. This has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. You guys have a good day.